Right. Hi, I am Chris. I'm from the Netherlands. I was born in a small place called Soest. Right now I live in Utrecht already for so many years since I went to university. It's a bit of a bigger town. Not the capital, but one of the bigger towns in Netherlands. And at the moment, most of the time I work from home. So I assist businesses with everything that you can do online, like customer surveys, writing, answering emails, things like that. So that makes it also easier for me to come to Kenya and be here for some time, because I can also do my work from Kenya. Yeah, I think that's it in short for me.
Yeah, welcome to my channel and say hi to our audience who are watching us from Netherlands. Maybe with your local greetings.
Nou, welkom iedereen uit Nederland die aan het kijken is. Ik hoop dat jullie veel plezier hebben bij het kijken van deze video. En blijf tot het einde en subscribe also.
Alsjeblieft.
Alsjeblieft.
My names are Chaps Chikolata. I was born in Eldoret, Kenya. I'm a former prison officer. I used to work with Kenya prisons for the past 18 years. Yeah, if I'm not wrong, 18 years. Yeah. I'm a former sports person. I used to run for Kenya in the 100 and 200 meters. I represented Kenya also international level. What else? I've studied for flight dispatch, so I'm a flight dispatcher. Yeah, so currently my work, I don't work here in Kenya, I work overseas. I work with a company in Netherlands where she lives, company called Picnic, so it deals with food basically. Yeah, yeah, and I think that's it about me.
Okay, thank you. Chris, take me back to your childhood, how you grew up, your family structure, the school.
Okay. All right. I come from a family of 4. I have one brother. He is 5 years older than me, and we were always very good together. We were never the siblings that were fighting, or we were always together, doing things together, and still, we are still very close. Yeah, I went through primary school like normal, then I went to high school, then I stopped doing what I was supposed to do, so I repeated one class in fact, so I spent 7 years in high school. Then I went to university. I did psychology. I spent 5 years in university, and then I realized that psychology was not at that time what I wanted to do, so I started exploring other things. Well, then, yeah, a lot happened, of course. I mean, I worked in several different places, and psychology is still something that has my interest. And a few years back, I actually did another education for holistic therapists. So that, how do I say that? It is like a next step on the psychology path, of which is something that in the future I still would like to do something with, but I'm not really sure yet how. So, you know, some people are born and they want to be a teacher and that's it. But for me, I like so many things, and I have done so many things. And I'm just grateful for all the experience, the work experience that I have. And yeah, one day, I mean, it's something that develops. So I like to keep studying, I like to keep doing courses, and yeah, that was my most recent one. So, I mean, I work online, but in my mind, I guess I'm still a psychologist. Am I not?
Is that the dream you had as you were growing up?
No, not even really, because I was in high school, and then there was something was organized where several people from different professions came to visit our school, and we could choose which ones we wanted to attend. So maybe you can, there's a doctor that's telling her or his story, then there's a carpenter who's telling his or her story, and then so many others. And I was like, what am I going to pick? Because I have no idea. And for some reason, I had one slot left and I had to pick something, and then I picked the psychologist. And then I was there and I liked it. So I guess that's why I went into psychology.
Okay.
Yeah.
And parents, do you still have them?
My mom is still alive. My dad passed away last year. So that was, a little bit over a year ago now. But my mom is actually coming next week to visit us.
Say hi to her.
Yeah, so, and then, my brother doesn't live too far away from me. So we still see each other often, but it's not like, I've learned, it's not like in Kenya where he will see each other often and live so close. We all have our own lives, and with time we come together to do things together. Yeah, so we have a small family, but it's good. I never lacked anything growing up. I've had a good childhood.
Your favorite memorable moments with your brother or as a young girl growing up? Share with us.
Okay, there's so many. We were living in a house with 3 floors. So there was a time when, because we switched rooms all the time. So there was a time when I was living on the top floor, the second floor, and he was living on the first floor. His room was there. And then we had this, we had a bucket that we would pull up and down between the 2 floors, and we would put notes in it or candy, and then we had a bell that we would ring, so like we would know that there was mail for each other. I guess that's one of my favorite memories. There was just a time when we did that all the time, and then you would just sit next to that basket waiting for the next note to come up. Yeah, that's a good memory.
And with your family, maybe your mom and the dad, the best memorable moments you
Well, with my dad, I had a lot of common interests. My dad used to have pigeons at home, so he used to do races with them. So every weekend I went with him to the club for all the, how do you call them? The people who have pigeons to race with. And so on Friday we would go with the pigeons to bring them. Then a whole big truck would gather them and bring them to whatever they were going. And then on Saturday they would fly back home. And then, the pigeon that comes first wins. And I used to do that always with my dad. So I used to go with him to the club, and at some point when I was growing a bit older, I used to help him because he was the one making the result list of who comes first, and that developed over time. Because in the beginning, people were writing that because there was no computers, but with time that developed, and so I started helping him with that. And also we trained them together. So you take your own pigeons, you put them in the car, you drive 30 kilometers, and then you release them. Then you drive home and you wait for them to come. And you release them a bit further every time. So we used to do that together. So we spent a lot of time over the weekends always together. With my mom, I think the one thing we have in common that is still there is that we're both creative. We like to craft sometimes. Sewing, she taught me how to sew. I'm not saying I can make a whole jeans, but I can handle myself when there's a problem with some clothes, so I can do small things. And also I made my own photo albums, crafting, just not online photo albums, but the real ones where you print the photos, stick them into an album. So we used to do those things together always. There was a time when we made jewelry together. So the crafting is one thing that I always have shared with my mom. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Mm-hmm. Back to Chaps. Chaps, how did you grow up and where?
I was born in Eldoret, but I think I've grown in Nairobi all my life. I remember growing up in Buruburu, Eastlands. That's where I grew, and I was very small by then, so I can't remember exactly everything. I think until the age of maybe 8 years, then we moved to Langata. So I've grown in Langata all my life. Then that's where I went to school also, Langata West. Well, first of all, I went to Langata Road Primary School, then I went to Langata West Primary School. Then from there, I mean, I've been a day scholar all my life. I've never gone to boarding. I went to Highway Secondary School. Then I think, yeah, I've been a day scholar all my life. I've never done boarding.
And the family setup, how was that?
First of all, we have we are 6 in our family. Yes. So it's girl, boy, boy. Sorry. So it's girl, boy, boy. Yeah, we're 6, and we grew up together in the same setup family. I'm the 4th born. 1, 2. I usually forget because you're many, so I forget. But I'm 4th born, and I think everything was equally for everyone. So there was no he's older, he gets more, he's younger, he gets less. No, everything was just equal. Eating together. We went all in the same school, but when we got to high school, so everybody had to go their own school. So the boys go to boys' school, girls go to girls' school. Yeah.
And the memorable moments with your family?
Memorable moments. Well, we Africans.
Yeah.
Because I just heard what she says, you know, doing dabs. I mean, we don't do dabs in Kenya. But yeah, we have memorable moments. The one that I never forget is my dad and my mom usually took us out at least once a month as a family. So we used to go out as a family, and I remember it used to be a place in Karen called Park Place. Yeah, Park Place in Karen. Tunakula nyama choma. We go, as a kid, I used to go and dance on the dance floor, you know, play with other kids, meet other people, and we did that often. So that's one thing I'll always remember. And we usually do that still, mpaka leo. You know, even right now, when nimekuja, every other Sunday, at least twice a month, nyama choma lazima. Yeah, lazima.
What is nyama choma like in Europe? How do they call them?
Nyama choma in Europe. They do not have nyama choma in Europe.
What do they have?
But I'm not saying they don't have. I'll be wrong, because maybe I've not experienced it. Because the Africans were there actually created. Nyama choma basically is just jiko and you know, just barbecue your nyama. But I think if I understand the question right, it's not the same as our nyama choma, because nyama yetu ya Kenya, our Kenyan meat is you know, directly from the cow itself, and the cows over there is different. It's not like the local cows.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
So how was your dream like growing up in Nairobi? Where did you see yourself as an adult?
Growing up, I think I've always wanted to help other people, because when I was small, my dream was to work with the United Nations. I think that's what I remember, working with the United Nations and helping people. Because also, as a photographer, I used to like taking photos. And one of my experiences, I remember on the newspaper, there was a copy that said they wanted, there's a competition about photography. So there was the landscape photography, this portrait photography, and I did it. I took it to the United Nations, and well, I was selected to go to the next step. But then from there, you know, the professionals actually move, because I was still an amateur. So for me, wanted to work with the United Nations. Then as you grow older, the dreams change. Then I wanted to become a pilot. Then, you know, being a pilot is not easy. It is very expensive. Per hour is about 60,000-70,000 to fly, and you need at least around between 50 to 60 hours to get the PPL. That's the private pilot license. So imagine 60 hours, and per hour is 60,000. So to get there is not easy. That's why they chose very few people to get there. But since I was not able to become a pilot, I I wanted to be closer to my dream. So I decided to do flight dispatch. So as a flight dispatcher, you do everything a pilot does except the practical part, that's flying the plane. Yeah. So I think I've been closer to my dream. But also, apart from me wanting to be a pilot, I've also liked, or rather my hobby is running. I've always been fast. I used to play rugby in high school. But then after high school, I stopped playing rugby because of some serious injuries. You know, rugby is a contact game. So the serious injuries made me stop, because I was like, nah, I don't want to die young. So I changed my career as a sport person. Then I decided to do athletics. So that's when I really focused on the 100 and the 200 meters. And it was really going well for me. So from there, that's how after high school, immediately I came to the local scene, and I was number 2 in the whole country, just straight from high school. So from then I thought, wow, this could really be a nice path to take.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after high school, you joined athletics?
Yes.
Sprinting. Then school, the flight school?
Yeah, flight school I joined at least, I think that was like 4 or 5 years later, because after high school, I joined athletics. Then after being number 2 in the whole country, that's when Kenya Prisons decided to take me. Now
take us through that journey of how did you find yourself in athletics? How is it, the discipline it takes to be there, and also for the young men who will be watching this who would love to be on athletics?
Yeah. So after high school, I was taken by Kenya Prisons because I ran, and without proper practice, and I was number 2 in the whole country.
Which year was that?
2007, 8 there. Yeah. So they took me. Then I joined Kenya Prisons. So joining Kenya Prisons, definitely you have to undergo the training. The training is 9 months. That is boot camp. Unaamka saa 9 asubuhi every other day. You know, you have to do, they call it fatigue. Fatigue is cleaning up. You know, you have to be clean. Everything has to be perfect. Ni kama to the KDF, the armed forces. So I did the training for 9 months. Then after the 9 months, came out. But then me joining Prisons was, I joined as an athlete. So even after the 9 months training, coming out, I came out as I'm an officer, yes, because I've gone through the training and all that. But the departments also within the Kenya Prisons. So there's the administration, there's the officers who just take care of the prisoners also. Then there's the sports department. There's so many departments, the drivers also and all that. So me, I was in the sports department, so to speak. So yeah, from there, we are released. So once you're in the sports department, you're released throughout. So throughout, ours was just to train. Me, I wake up in the morning, I go for training, come back, rest, maybe in the afternoon also go for training, come back. Yeah, so that was like basically my job. Then after the whole season, now when the season is done, usually the season gets done around this time of the year, November or October. So when it's done, that's when we go back to work for at least a month. Then the new season begins. So when you go back to work, that's when you get to wear the uniforms and go back to they call it general duties. Yeah. Then after 1 month, then we're released again. Now the cycle is just like that. Yeah, so being in sports, it's not easy. It is not easy. It is hard. Because for you to be on the top level, first of all, you have to sacrifice so many things. The lifestyle, your diet. Kama wewe ni mtu happy, you know, you will not make it. So you have to cut down sherehe. You have to check on your diet. You cannot be eating junk food, pizza and burgers and expect to perform. Then you need to have a proper program. Then also the coaches also need to be good, because if you have a coach who's not good and you are good, definitely atakwaribu, because it'll give you a bad program. And also the venue for training, because it's not cheap, so to speak. Like for example, Nyayo Stadium and Kasarani, you have to pay. And for example, a person who's not working, it would be difficult for them even to prosper, because thank God I was working for Kenya Prison, so I was getting a salary. And from the salary, it helped me to be able to pay for the stadiums, for example, then to be able to pay for my diet, my supplements, Yeah, and so from there, discipline number one. And also my discipline came in because I was with the Kenya prisons. You know, Kenya prisons is a defense force. So the discipline they instilled in me for 9 months, ilikuwa, you know. And also working as an officer, you just have to be straight disciplined, because without discipline, you know, you might get punished, you know. Yeah. Hata nywele unaona saizi you didn't have it, lazima unyoe nywele, you know, be clean, hakuna ndevu, you know, just be disciplined, basically. Yeah, so athletics was hard, but the discipline I had from being an officer helped me to, you know, grow as an athlete. Yeah, so I managed to, the following year, you know, after joining Kenya prisons in the 100 meters, I think I was, from that period, for the next 5-6 years, I was top 3 in the 100 and 200 meters, so to speak.
Where were you competing?
Locally, in Nyayo Stadium and Kasarani, but also sometimes we have these things they call meetings, weekend meetings, whereby we go in different counties, maybe Kakamega, Mombasa.
No, you said you participated in global stages of athletics. So take us where?
Oh, okay. I've been to many places. Let me start with the big ones. I've been to Commonwealth Games. Commonwealth Games twice. That was in 2010 in India. India, yes. 2014 in Scotland. I've been to the World Relay Games also. That was in Bahamas. I've been to the what is it called, Penn Relays in the United States. That was twice I've been there. I've been to African Championships in Morocco, in South Africa. I've been there. Yeah, the US that was the Penn Relays. I've been there twice. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, because the one thing I've not been to is the Olympics and the World Championships. Because in athletics, that's like the topmost. It's like football World Cup, you know. So in athletics, it's Olympics, then World Championships, then maybe Commonwealth. But I've just got into Commonwealth, then World Relays, then African Championship, the African Games. Those ones I've been to.
Now, is it the same thing you're still doing?
The same what?
The same sports you're still doing as it now?
Right now I'm not doing it.
Why did you stop?
Oof. Like I said, discipline. And number one, I would love to do it, but at the end of the day, bills need to get paid. Having a family and doing sports.
Sport don't pay, or what does that?
It does pay, but for you to get to the professional level, let me give you an example. For example, here in Kenya, we have Omanyala. And I remember, I think Omanyala is the one who made me stop. Alikuja kwa kiwanja and then he defeated me. So when he defeated me, that's when I stopped active sprinting. That was, I think, 2018, 2019. Yeah. Omanyala is successful. There's money in sprinting, definitely. But it is not easy for anyone just to get to Omanyala level. You need discipline, like I said. So there is money, yes, but then it's not easy. You need discipline. And for you to be able to get to the level Omanyala is right now, there are a lot is happening on behind the scenes. People don't see. And there are a lot that's happening is most people don't have jobs. And you need stadiums to pay, you need diet, you need supplements, you need a good coach, and you need to pay the coach. You see, all that is money. So for you to get to where Omanyala is, you need all these things. So for me right now, well, bills have to be paid. I have a family now. Okay, even if I moved abroad, does not mean it's easy. Still, you have to pay everything there. And even there is more expensive than here. Because everything there is expensive. Stadium's expensive. You have to pay, everything is expensive. So I think for me, I just slowed down because I'm also getting old. I mean, Omanyala, you know, the younger generation, the Gen Zs are really coming up so hard. So you get to a point, unacha mbio with the respect. You leave the race while you're still up there. Don't leave the race while you used to win, then now you're getting defeated by everyone. Now, even Usain Bolt, he left while he was up here. Angekuwa saizi, angekuwa bado anashindwa, people be like, dude, just leave it, you know, you already the world record holder.
Give an advice to a Gen Z or a young boy who is aspiring for that, you know, career of sports. Just one.
Discipline. You want to make it in athletics, discipline. Discipline, discipline, discipline. There's nothing else. Just discipline, because either you have to train, nothing comes easy. Even with motorbikes, you have to practice. With swimming, you have to just know how to swim and perfect your skills. So be disciplined, and trust me, everything will just work out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Back to Chris. What happened after school?
After university?
Yes.
I worked for a couple of years in a pigeon company. That was through my dad. He knew people that needed someone, so I worked there for a couple of years. And I think at some point I always thought, nah, traveling is not for me. I don't know why, but I never aspired to travel. But then I started to sponsor kids in kids in need in other countries. So with time, I sponsored several in several different countries. Then I have a friend. She lives in the US. She went there after high school. So we met in high school. Then she moved, and I had a sponsor child in Haiti.
Haiti.
Yeah. So I was like, what if I can combine? Because she had asked me to visit her so many times already, but she came to Netherlands, of course, all the time because her family lives in the Netherlands. But I've never had visited her. So at some point, I decided to visit that sponsor child in Haiti, and also to combine with visiting her, because she lives in the south part of the US. And that was my first solo trip.
To Haiti.
Yeah, like if you want to call it traveling. And I think that is when I started also to think and to love the idea of going also other places. So it started with that. Then I think 1.5 years later, I joined a group of people to go to Indonesia for the same purpose. But there we actually did what they call Merskathlon. It is that you do something for, it's either biking, running, walking, a certain amount of distance for charity. And so at home, you get sponsors for what you're doing, then you collect money for the charity in Indonesia. And also then I went with a friend a bit earlier, so to visit another few kids, also of hers. And I did 42 kilometers walking. She did the same, but there were others that were running or biking. That was another trip that I did, of which I was like, wow, this is a whole different part of the world, of which I had never even thought of going to Indonesia, but then we went.
Which year was that?
I think 2016, somewhere there. So then, in the meantime, of course, I was still, working, what you have to do to just eat. I had also a few sponsor kids in Kenya. And my mom also won in the same project. They live in Kakamega. We visited a few together also, but that came later. So then we decided with my mom to go and visit those children in Kenya as well. That was 2019.
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess that was just in line of me finding reasons to go and travel, because I never went in the beginning to just go and travel randomly. I always needed a purpose in the beginning. So we went to visit those kids, and of course then once you're in Kenya you also do other things. But that was with my mom together. Yeah, and I think also around that time I started to work more freelance because I was away more often and it was not doable to have to be employed. So then I started to find freelance jobs to do that I could do in between the traveling that I wanted to do. So, and that's when he comes in. So 2019, when I was in Kenya that time with my mom.
That's when?
That's when Chaps comes in the story.
That's how you met.
That's how
we met, yeah.
before you people meet, yeah? I'm just curious to know, how do you get a sponsorship as a, as a person in need, or which method did you use to sponsor those vulnerables?
So there's a big organization called Compassion International, but there are others, but that is the one I got familiarized with through some events in Netherlands. They're like, it's a Christian organization, so they go to those big places where a lot of Christians gather together, and that's why I got to know them. That's when I sponsored my first sponsored child, and she lived in India, but and she still lives there, but then India got out of the program, so not sponsoring her anymore. But then others came, so. Actually, I worked at Compassion also at the office for some time, and then I was a volunteer for some time. So I got pretty deep into that organization. And then once you're there, you get to know them better and better. So they have, I think, more than 20 countries where they sponsor kids. They work together with local churches, and then the churches decide which kids need the help the most. And then they find sponsors for them in the US and UK and Germany, Netherlands. I don't know how many countries, but yeah.
Yeah, so I should invite you to my village and sponsor some kids, right?
Well, I know that, like, churches can apply, like at.
So you have to go through the church.
Yeah. So the local church can apply to Compassion to be a part of the program. Then once they are, how do you say that? Once they are in the program, that is when the whole process starts. Then some evenings or at weekends, kids go to the program. They get extra lessons, maybe sports. They learn a whole bunch of things, and then once they need something really badly, they're being helped with that. So overall, they just got a little push in life to at least make it through school, maybe when the parents cannot afford the school fees, things like that.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So back to 2019, you said you met. Take me back to the meeting point, and how was that?
Okay. Well, my mom actually went to Rwanda first with a group, so her ticket, and then she came to Kenya. So her ticket was booked through that organization of which she went to Rwanda. Me, I just went to Kenya, but I was not able to book the same flight as she did going back. She flew with Turkish Airlines, I think, and she even left later than me, but I arrived earlier in Netherlands because I had a straight flight with KLM, or it was Kenya Airways.
KLM.
Yeah, KLM. So it was a, I think, 11:50 p.m. flight, and he was sitting next to me in the plane.
Oh, he was in the same plane?
Yes, we were in the same plane. So I think if my mom was still there, then we probably wouldn't have met, or it would have been gone differently. But since I was flying alone, and he was sitting next to me. Yeah.
Before I come back to him, I would love to know, first time traveling to Kenya or maybe Africa for the first time. It was the first time, right?
It was. I don't know if it was the first time, but yeah, maybe. I think maybe I visited before that, maybe because I think I went to Tanzania before that. So yeah, but
In Africa.
yes,
How was that?
to come to Kenya.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely different from everything else, of course, because. But I had already previously visited other countries, so it's not like, oh my goodness, I have no idea what's coming to me. But it's interesting because so many things are different. Like just how I think maybe one of the things is that people in Kenya are so hospitable. Like you can meet someone today and tomorrow you're friends, and they come, they visit, they invite you to their home. So like that's not in the Netherlands. You take some time to build a friendship. And you cannot just knock someone's door and ask like, hey,
Give me some salt.
yeah, that you can ask, but I won't invite you in. I'll give the salt and then you go. So I think you don't just encounter that in friendships, but also just in day-to-day life when you meet people in other places, like for example the project, or you staying with someone, then it is just different. I don't even know how to put it in words, but it is just different. That type of friendliness. I'm not saying we are not friendly, but it is different. You immediately feel like wanted. You immediately feel at home. You immediately feel like you're so welcomed. There's always food everywhere, and yeah, that is something that I was not used to. So yeah, of course, then you can say the weather. Every time when I come here, I try to come when the weather in Netherlands is not so good, so that I can have a few weeks of warmth.
Yeah. So the weather was perfect for you.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'm always telling you that when I was younger, I always thought, oh my goodness, what if God sends me to a cold country to do something there? But okay, later I think I realized, you have your own preferences, and I don't think God will ever send you to Russia if you cannot handle the cold. But yeah, so of course I liked always the weather when I was in Kenya. I still do. Yeah, because it's just always comfortable. I'm not saying it's always warm, but it's always comfortable. So that's definitely something, and I liked the food. Like, we rarely eat things like beans at home. It's not very common to eat beans or lentils. People do, but it's not that common. I love those stews, I love the chapati. Yeah, and then just the whole experience of it's adventurous, going with a matatu somewhere, just finding out how all of that works, of which I still haven't found out because it's still very confusing to me. If I don't know this is where you live and that's where you're going, I cannot. I don't know. But the adventure of exploring a new place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you travel to the village? You said you went to Kakamega.
Yeah. That was, we were staying at a family in Kakamega, so I think that was pretty much the village already, because it is not, they were okay, but it's not like Nairobi, of course.
What's different?
Well, there's less noise. But now one of the first things I remember is that you arrive late in the evening, but then the toilet was outside. So I had to go with someone with light because I was afraid. What kind of bugs are in there, and those type of, you don't forget those things. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just a new experience. And yeah, then I'm not very big fan of spiders and things, so I just I just got used to it very fast. But in the beginning, I was like, whoa, okay, you know, you're not used to that. Yeah. So then you find that, and then, oops, you have to get used to it fast. Yeah, and then we arrived in the evening late. They wanted me to eat, but I was like, I'm tired, I want to sleep. But no, they had to slaughter a whole chicken and even prepare the whole thing. So even though I appreciate the gesture, you're just waiting for a long time, but I just wanted to sleep. But you know, that's that hospitality that I was talking about also. So yeah, so I think I don't know if that happens in Nairobi. You visit someone and you come in at 11 and they go to slaughter a whole chicken. I think that is not, maybe I've not experienced that. But I think Nairobi is a little bit more, it comes closer to what I'm used to when it comes to culture. But when you go to a village, it's just an overwhelmingly amount of friendliness, and everyone wants to feed you, and everyone wants you to come in. And yeah, in Nairobi it's a little bit more, okay, we live here, we are on ourselves, and yeah, it's just a little bit more as what I'm used to from home.
And how was it for you as Mzungu? You know, they call white people Mzungu in the village. Did they touch your hair?
Yeah, I already experienced that when I was in Haiti, but also on projects that we visited together, the kids, especially the kids, want to touch my skin and my hair, but adults, no, they just call me, but they don't want to touch me. But the kids definitely do, and I don't actually mind. Because I mean, for the kids, I understand. I have been to places where the kids have never seen a white person. So yeah, that's also a difference, I guess, between going to places like Kakamega or being in Nairobi. I mean, a kid in Nairobi is just ignoring me. Not all. Okay, they say I'm Zungu, but it's not that they have never seen a white person. So they don't come so close, like, wow, what is this person? What, you know, they do that in the village a bit.
Did you experience any challenge in the village? Like asking?
You mean in
the village? You see, here in Africa, this is perception, I don't know. When we see Mzungu, we expect them to have money. So most of the time they ask for money.
I have been conned so many times in this country. Yeah. Sometimes it's 1 shilling, but sometimes like in Matatu especially, like I know from the map it's 800 meters. I just don't want to walk because it's a big street and it's evening. And then they ask me a certain amount, and I've been here times. I know you cannot ask me, I don't know, 200 shillings for that. So then there was this time, and I just told him, nah, this is not going to happen. I'm paying you 50, and that's it. So I went out. Then I was just, because he had not given me the change. So I was just leaning in the window, and I said, you still have my change. The whole Matatu was laughing because he was forced to give me the change.
And then they might ask, why would I allow her to get into Matatu? Because I think by then we were together, yeah?
Yeah.
Why would I allow her to get into Matatu instead of maybe a taxi or rather Uber or a dropper?
But I feel like that time you had not met.
No.
Yeah.
The Matatu incident also, the other time from... you're going to Kafua or something. Then she was count money. I let her go with a Matatu because she likes Matatu. She doesn't want Uber. She doesn't want. She likes the experience. So so I gave an easier option because it was just one Matatu. So from this stage to the next stage, and I know it's the fares. Yeah. But then that's when she was also conned.
Yeah, but okay. I think in the beginning, especially with my mom, probably I took the Ubers. Yeah. I don't remember that so much. But yeah, definitely. I mean, probably it happens when you're not aware, when you go to the market and buy something, but usually we were with people. So especially when I was with my mom, we were staying with people, and there was one, that family just called a cousin or something, she was with us almost the whole time because they were like, you cannot go together. So then I think it's not so much, but yeah, I know it has happened without me knowing it and with me knowing it, and then at the same time sometimes it's just like, if that makes you happy,
It's called Mzungu prize.
Yeah.
I mean, if that 100 shillings is making you happy, just do something nice with it. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Back to Chaps. Where were you traveling when you met her the same plane?
So like I said earlier, I was an athlete. I was doing 120 meters. So that particular year, that particular time, that particular day, April 23rd, I think,
2019 now.
yeah, 2019, I was going to represent the country in the 4x100 meters in the pen relays in the US. Yeah, so kama kawaida, just get into a plane. Then I was actually seated at the center because she was at the window. There was another lady here, I think a Kenyan lady.
And you were having a stopover?
Yeah, and I was up in, I'll get there. Relax.
Oh, sorry.
So me communicating with the Kenyan lady, because I mean, you know, speaking Swahili is easier than why would I speak English? I'm in Kenya, let me speak my local language. So we talked with her for a bit. Then I think how I started the conversation with her was at that time when I was heading to the US, I really wanted to have an iPhone, because my aim was when I get there, I will get an iPhone from there. Because I know from here they were expensive by then. 2019, I think that was iPhone 11, 10, somewhere there. Then she was seated at the window, but then she was using her phone. So I saw her phone, and I was like, that's an iPhone. Then,
Which was a really old phone, by the way.
yeah, that's where the conversation started.
So how?
So I saw her phone, then I was like, that's an iPhone. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what I said, but then I was like, I'm looking for an iPhone. How much, did I ask you how much do you buy
how much are they, and where you from the Netherlands? Yes, I am. How much are they there or something? Yeah.
Then she told me the price. Then I was like, I really want to get one, because I'm heading to the US, so I think I'll get them from there. I think they are cheaper there, if I'm not wrong. Then, yeah, that was actually, I think, the first line of conversation, me just talking about the phone. I didn't even get to know her name, I think, after we landed, because me had a stopover in Amsterdam. Yeah, but during the plane, I know there's a lot. She's really looking at me like, can you talk about it? Maybe she can explain.
What were you thinking, Chris, at that time when he asked about a phone?
Every time when I go home from, you know, you have visited a country, you've traveled, and when you go home, it's that sadness, you know, of the trip is ending. Now I'm going home. The minute I step into my door at home, that is over. But the whole trip is never my favorite part of the journey. So basically, Dutch as I am, probably also, I just want to be left alone. I'm sitting there, I'm going home, I'm not happy, and I'm just like, this dude is trying to have a conversation with me. That's the last thing I want when I'm in a plane. So yeah, I think I just gave you very short answers on the phone thing, because I'm not even that much into electronics. So yeah, so I don't know what I said, but then I think we also talked a bit about what did you do in Kenya, where are you going, and something like that. So I just gave you really short answers, because I just wasn't waiting for someone to talk to me the whole trip, because it was a night flight as well. Yeah. Sorry about that, by the way.
Then, yeah. Then she immediately just, because you know she was sleeping, so she immediately, I think, just slept. And she slept like from Nairobi to Amsterdam is 8 hours. So I think she slept for 7 hours. The whole flight.
No, apart from in the we had dinner in the middle of the night when you were hungry. Because we had dinner, then after that I slept. But dinner is at the beginning of the flight already.
You did not have dinner.
Oh, maybe I didn't. I usually don't have.
You had breakfast, not dinner.
Okay.
She slept
you even
hours.
remember.
I remember, yeah. I mean,
but in the middle of the night, you were getting up or you were waking up, and I also, and you were like, you were saying something like, I'm hungry. And I asked you, but why are you hungry? We just had dinner. But he was like, that's kidogo sana, that's not food. So I told you, go to the back of the plane. They usually have some snacks. So I guess that's what you did. Then I slept again.
Yeah, then she slept through till breakfast time. That's usually breakfast is like an hour before the plane lands. Then she woke up, then that's when I think the conversation started, because breakfast is coming, so everyone has breakfast there and whatnot. I think that's when we started talking again. So we started talking so much stuff. I think I was like, because she's traveling, I was like, you're traveling a lot. I was like, yeah, I'm traveling too, but you see, for me, it's more like athletics. I have no time to, I was thinking of content-wise, because by then YouTube had already started. Yeah, and in Kenya, YouTube was not as much. YouTube blew up during Corona in Kenya, so to speak. But 2019, before Corona, because Corona was 2019 towards the end, but April, YouTube had not blown out. So I was like, maybe you should start YouTube channel, because you're traveling to many countries, so you should start document. Yeah, I told her that.
And nobody had ever said stuff like that to me. And he was like, no, I know, I'm sure you can, because you like to talk. Because at that point, I think I just gave in to the conversation. So we had actually, then I was like, you know, this guy is encouraging me to do something, to like develop myself. And he's a total stranger, and nobody has ever told me this. Actually, I never even watched YouTube. I knew that existed. I used it for like music, like a playlist with music, but I never used it to watch actually stuff. And you were very much into YouTube at that time, because you knew so much more about it.
Yeah, myself, I didn't have a channel. I started my track and field channel, but then it was not easy, because Kenyan community, the YouTube was not there. So starting also was a problem. But then for her, I thought, you're international, and YouTube over there is known than locally, and you travel a lot, so why not just document your travels and post? Because by then also there's so many people traveling documents, and people travel different places, can't be the same. So yeah, we talked about YouTube.
Yeah, I think you also told me you wanted to start, and you were preparing. You were preparing some videos.
My track and field, I already had the channel then.
Yeah.
So we talked about YouTube, we talked about
photography, that you were a photographer.
Yeah.
I was more like a writer, so at that time we were like brainstorming, what if we make stories together, then you can make the photos we go together, and then
videos,
some things like that. So yeah, it was just I think it was just a really interesting conversation with some of things that were different. We had some differences, but where you like photography and I like writing, but also I think you also liked writing at that time a bit more.
Yeah, poetry. Yeah, for me, I was doing poetry, but then, you know, hobbies keep changing, because I started with I think poetry, then photography came in, photography overtook poetry, then just keep changing.
Yeah, but at least we also had some things in common. So, and I felt like, I think he was so interested in me, like so much. And you know how sometimes you meet people and they just want to talk about themselves. Not that I was so much aware of that thought at that time, but he was so much not like that. He was asking me so many questions about me, and then encouraging me, do this, do that. I know you can do it, because, you know, from now, how the way you're talking, I know you can. And I was like, wow, to be encouraged like that by a stranger is just something you don't have every day. Yeah, so that is what we did at the remaining hour.
Yeah, then we got off the plane.
Breakfast came.
Yeah, we were talking about all that.
It's during breakfast.
Yeah, breakfast and the landing part.
Yeah. So getting off the plane, we kept on talking while we were walking, because she arrived. Destination is Amsterdam. But me I was switching planes in Amsterdam now, taking another flight to the US. So from the plane to where you departures and connecting flights, actually arrivals and transit flights. So we were talking until that point.
Yeah.
And
and then I was just like, you know, sometimes you have these moments in life and you'll be like, I cannot let this person go. It happened to me twice, with him and with another person she's now my friend. It's just that connection that you don't find anywhere. And I was like, what if I never meet this person again? Because if we had left, both of us, the likability of me meeting him again would have been very small.
Very minimal.
So yeah, I'm not that person who asks for numbers or gives out numbers. I'm really not. I was just thinking about it, like, how am I going to do this? But I cannot let this happen.
And I'm not a person who asks for numbers. I don't. It's very rare. I rarely ask a girl's number. Yeah, very rarely.
So I decided to do it as a bit passively. I asked you, can I give you my number? Because I didn't want to ask for his, and I wanted to not, you know. So it was just a bit that in between. So because social media, we talk a bit about social media, Facebook, and then you were like, you're not so active. So I already felt like that is not a good connection. So yeah, that's the only thing I could come up with.
Yeah, so she gave me her number.
How did you feel when she gained that courage of giving her number? And
because one, we were in a rush. Because, you know, transit, especially sometimes the flights when you're not waiting, because some flights you might wait for an hour, but then this one was just getting off this plane, then no time, maybe 10-15 minutes you get to the other plane. So while we're walking, then everything is in a rush. Everyone is rushing. And remember, to Kenya team, so we were like, I think 6 guys and 3 coaches. Everyone is rushing. And, you know, while you're still new in traveling, when everything is done for you is different from when you're doing things yourself. Because being in Kenya team, everything is done for you. When I care to stamp your passport, ticket is being paid. So even in the airport, you don't know what's going on. You're just told, go this way, go this way. So you go. So I was still lost by then when you get to the airport. So me seeing my friends running and getting lost. So I'm just trying to be in a rush. So there's no time to think.
Yeah,
so
you pick the number as you proceed, yeah.
But then I kept it properly. So
yeah, and I was being picked up by my dad, and while driving home in the car, I was just thinking, like, is he going to text me? You know, is he going to reach out to me? And I was really hoping he would. But, you know, you can never know for sure. Maybe he didn't feel the same way, or maybe just, you know. Yeah. So me, I was just I remember on the way home in the car, I was thinking about it, like, is he going to text me or not?
And me, I was thinking maybe she gave me a wrong number, or, you know, you never know. I mean, because one, I'm having a Kenyan line, so I don't have an international line. And 2, I cannot text using WhatsApp because I didn't know there was free Wi-Fi on the airport.
And so I was thinking, why is it taking him so long? He could have texted me already. There's free Wi-Fi at the airport.
So I had to get to the destination to be able to text. So I think I texted the following day.
Yeah, you texted me when you arrived.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where were you going to US? Which state?
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Was it the first time traveling from outside Kenya?
No, that was the last time for me to travel with Kenya team. Okay. Because before that we'd gone to Bahamas, we'd gone to the US before, we'd gone to other, So, yeah, when we arrived at the hotel, I think I texted, we arrived. Yeah, then I think that's when we started communicating.
How did you feel when you saw his text?
Well, I was, of course, happy that he used my number, because I was like, oh wow, you know, I was waiting for this. So it was like, oh nice, you know. And then we started talking, and it was good from the very beginning. Yeah. Until
that was, I think, the first month. We met in April. Yeah.
We met in April.
Around May it was good. Communication was solid. You know, every other day, or maybe jump at 2-3 days. Yeah. Then June also was solid.
I think after some time, I just felt like, oh, this is too
much.
No, yeah, I'm having a Dutch word in my head. Too gezellig.
Gezellig. Yeah, too nice. You know. And
yeah, it was. Yeah, and I was not. I really wanted, I think, a friendship. I was in for a friendship, but I was not in for a relationship. And I felt like we were heading in that direction, maybe. because of the way we were talking and the connection we had. So I think I backed off a bit at some point. So my answers came a bit later. I don't know how. I didn't do it consciously.
Maybe I guess her being Dutch, she thought I was vibing her. In the beginning, I wasn't really vibing. We're just talking. Even if the text messages were so stale, you know, just weather, life, and
food. I remember we talked about,
So you were in the US for how long?
I think it was 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks, yeah. It was just competition.
Then you came back to Kenya.
Came back to Kenya. So the communication kept on even while we were here in Kenya. Yeah, so after 2 months, it was solid. Communication every other day, or just skip a day, skip 2. Then I think that was May, June. Then July, that's when the communication was now
yeah, we only texted maybe
silent.
twice in the whole month of July or something.
Yeah,
Because
July,
I also
August.
went to the US again to visit that friend, so I was having other things on my mind, and I was just like, I don't know, you know.
Then when I text, she replies after 3 days.
Or even a week.
Now, so I was like, So I'm texting and replying after 3 days. So after 3 days when she replies, I'm like, you replied my text after 3 days. I'm going to reply yours after 3 days. So I wait for 3 days to reply. Then she waits another, like, 5 days. She replies after 5, so I wait. I mean, I was not in a rush. I was like, you want me to play your game? I will play a game. So it kept on like that for, I think, a month or...
Yeah, for some time.
A month or... That was maybe around August, July, August.
Yeah, I think
September.
the end of July. That is when I switched like a button in my head.
Yeah, then I think we got back to communicate. So when I send a text, she replies either the same day or the following day. So I was playing her game. So you replied the following day, I replied.
It was not a game.
Until when?
Yeah.
No, that's how. I mean, when she now started replying every text, like I said, send today, reply today. So it kept on. So she never
And
stopped.
even me, when I was switched that button, so to speak.
Yeah, that's
when I said, I think I was just we were at the point where I was just saying hi, how are you doing? Because we had nothing to refer to, because we had no conversation at that point. So yeah. I even remember that I was thinking, what if he's not replying? Because you didn't reply immediately, you replied like after 1 or 2 days. So I was even thinking, maybe he won't even reply anymore. But then, okay, once you did, that is when we never stopped talking anymore. So that was, at the end of the beginning of August, somewhere there, that we started talking, like for real.
Yeah, so the communication was consistent from there.
Then
I think at some point when the communication came back and becoming consistent, that's when there was some spark either way. And then that was in around August. Then she started talking of coming back
to Kenya.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And her reason for coming back was to see what this is.
And still also with the idea of going make stories together. You know, I had never forgotten about that. So
Yeah.
I think that was also my excuse of using at home to tell people, like, I'm going to, not really business, but maybe more like, because everyone knew I was writing. So I think I used that excuse because I didn't want to say I'm going for a guy, not knowing if it would even work out. Because I had done that before, then it didn't work out. I mean, online dating-ish with a guy from the US. Then I went to visit, then I reached the airport and I was like, nope, not gonna happen. So, I mean, I didn't want that experience to be repeated. I think also that is why I was a bit reluctant in the beginning. So I always told him, I'm coming and that is when we can see what happens. I cannot now tell you, yes, I'm your girlfriend. What? We are just texting. So, so I didn't tell people at home, actually, that I was visiting you. I just told them he was a friend. And we were going to, you were a photographer and me were going to do the stories together, of which we never did, but maybe one day.
So she visited, then what happened?
No, she visited in
October.
Yeah.
October, yeah. She stayed
that
for
is
a whole
when
month.
you had your, you were released.
Yeah.
You had your off.
Yeah, she visited in October and November. 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but then I was still in prisons. And also, you know, being in prisons, the types of housing you were given there is you do not have bathrooms in the house. The bathrooms are out. And there are two types of housing. There's the flat housing, of which you need to know people to get those houses. They don't just give to anyone. Back in the day, they used to use the rank. If you have a certain rank, like I was a corporal, so I could be given. But then, you know, along the way, corruption happens too bad, then you just don't get it. You have to know someone. So where I used to live, the bathrooms were outside. And it was outside, like, I think 100 meters. You can imagine 100 meters for a bathroom. Bathroom was just like 2 meters away, but the toilets were 100 meters away. So when she said she's coming, and you know, I already experienced her stories of in Kakamega. She doesn't like, you know, she was not used to the toilet being out and whatnot. So I didn't allow her to come to my place. So I talked to my parents. Then I told them I have a friend, because we were not dating then. I have a friend from the Netherlands, and she's coming. Is it okay for her to stay at your house? Then they were okay with it. So she came and she stayed at my parents' house for 2 months. And
that was also comforting for my parents, because I just said I have a friend, but I'm staying at his parents. So I mean, that is a comforting idea as parents, that you have an actual good place to stay, you know?
Yeah. Then while staying at my parents, so because I was still at work, I mean, I need to train, and you know, commuting from Kitengela to Nairobi every morning is the jam in Kenya and whatnot. So I used to visit her over the weekend. When I'm done with training, sometimes I used to go there during the day, but then not every other day, because sometimes you train morning and evening. So I used to go over the weekend.
Yeah, I think there were 2 weeks in the beginning when you were still off, and then you started working.
Yeah, I was on leave. I actually took a leave because she came. So the 2 weeks leave, then from then I started going over the weekend. So that's how we used to.
Yeah.
Then from then we started visiting the kids in.
We did 2 trips together.
Yeah, we did 2
Imali and Mwingi.
Yes.
Okay, the children.
Yeah, another 2 that I wanted to visit. So you were like all in for the travel. So you went with me, and then again I told them this is my photographer, because we were at that point. I think, you know, we knew, okay, this is going somewhere, but I was not ready to share that with strangers. Yeah.
So then you went back to Netherlands after visiting.
Yeah, after 2 months I went back, and then COVID hit us, because that was in 2019. So that means a few months later, in what was it, January, February, March.
Well, COVID hit Kenya in 2019 towards the end.
Yeah.
So
in the Netherlands, I think it was talked about from February, March, but at least we knew that there was not really an option for us to visit each other soon. So yeah, it was a really strange time. At that time we kept talking on the phone.
For how long?
It was daily. We kept communication.
Since 2019, when COVID hit it took you how long maybe to see each other?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. That is
2021. 2021. Because the borders were closed in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah.
So 2021 towards the end, that's when they were opened. You came in 2021 towards the end?
I think it was around maybe September, October, November, or somewhere there. Yeah.
How was that long distance relationship like?
Well, I remember towards the end, maybe after 1.5 years or something, you texted me and you were like, you thought I was the one who was going to back out because it was taking too long.
Because one, I was not in a relationship, so I was not in a rush for anything. But long distance is not easy, it's hard. You have these imaginations. You're really investing your time, communicating every day, you building these emotions in you, then she tells you she's married or she's found someone else closer, you know. She says, man, you're too far. Or the corona also was a problem because when the borders were closed, a whole year, you can't go anywhere. Then the following year, I knew this was it. But we just kept on communicating through the phone. I mean, just having hope.
Me, I'm just very loyal, but okay, I'm not saying it was not difficult. I never had that actual thought of we were breaking up, but but it was not easy. It was really not easy. I'm not going to lie that I cried about it sometimes, because you don't know when you can see each other again. If you tell me today, 2 years you'll see him again, it's hard, but you know what's happening. But we had no idea how long it is going to take. So yeah, that was really difficult.
Were you in a relationship before?
In general, you mean? Yeah, I mean, of course, we all had our relationships before in the past, but those are not long distance relationships. You can never compare anything with that.
Yeah. How was that dating life like?
You mean the long distance?
Yes, you said it was challenging. Now, at what point did you meet again, or maybe you decided now to proceed?
Well, I think from the first time when I visited you, we were already making plans for the future. We were already thinking ahead of dreams that we shared and things, but then at that time we had no idea how we were going to realize them and when. Then COVID happened, we kept talking about it. So we were already in for it both. But I think you are more like, me, I know when I'm in a relationship, but you are more like, okay, but you don't have a ring on your finger yet, so anything can happen. But I think for me that's different. I was very committed, so I was not thinking about, I was not even thinking on those lines. But after 2 years I came back, and that is when we were spending a little bit more time together. Well, you were still training and on working, but we had more time together at that time.
That is 2022 now.
Yeah, 2021.
21, yeah. Then she came back again in 2023, the beginning.
No, 2024. That was it.
No, 23 you came. You're forgetting when we got married.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting the dates mixed up.
Okay.
She's forgetting when we got married, man. Okay. All right, so she came back in 2023.
Yeah, that was the third time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember before even thinking of marriage first, I wanted to visit the Netherlands. But then did the interview, then I was denied visa. Reason for being denied visa was I did not have a strong social ties back home, because I presented everything. Title deed, bank statement.
But it's so random.
Our communication ever since we met in 2019, everything. I even presented, I had a job in Kenya, even my papers really that I'm employed, my what we call it, pay slips and all that. But still they thought I wanted to be an immigrant in their country. So that's the reason why I didn't get the visa.
Yeah. But that took, even between those two visits was a long time, because you were still also waiting for your passport to come out. So before we could even apply for the visa, we were still waiting for your passport. At some point I was even forgotten about it. Then one day you texted me and said, I have my passport, and I was like, oh, what? Wow. How long did it take?
Around 8 months. But that was due to Corona. Yeah. The delays.
So then that was that visa was denied. Then you were like, okay, now if you cannot visit me, then plan B comes in. And what is plan B is just for him to come.
Yeah, to the Netherlands.
Yeah, to the Netherlands.
Okay. You mentioned you getting married in 2023. At what point did you know she was the one? What convinced you?
Well, I mean, through the communication. But then also you cannot not really tell through communication, because you really need to live with the person to know whether she's the one, because communicating is different from me talking to you one-on-one. Then I think when she came back in 2021, that was after Corona, because you stayed for...
I stayed for 3 months.
Yeah, that was the longest we've been together. So we experienced the good times and the challenges too. Yeah. For dating a foreigner, interracial is not easy, cultural differences. Then also coming back also in 2022. You came back in 2022. No, 2023. Yeah, coming back again also. you know, you after experiencing the 3 months, and also the first time she came, now she comes again, you get to learn her. So the things you're hearing and the things you're seeing are different things, so you start developing, you know, emotions. And yeah.
But I think even though the 3 months were not necessarily the easiest ones, because it was the first time we were actually staying together, not because I was not staying at your parents at that time. We both knew, like, okay, this is what we want, but also we have so much still to work on when it comes to like cultural differences and communication, and that, well, for me it really helped that the time after that the almost 1.5 years again that we were not together, because you can come and you don't have a lot of opportunity for visits because of your work. So it helped me to process everything that had happened in those 3 months and to reflect on it and to really see, okay, so we are different in this and this and this and that, but I could have responded differently in this occasion and there, and what happened actually there. So it gives you so much time when you have distance. If you are staying together, you don't have that time to reflect so much. So for me, I think that really helped me, even though of course you want to be together, but it also, you know, I always like to say things happen the way they happen for a reason. And looking back, for me, that was really good. That time of distance and thinking and reflecting, and we were still talking, and yeah, with time it became easier. That was my side of the story. So then I think after the visa got denied, is when I sent you the link for studying Dutch, because when you want to come to Netherlands, you have to learn the language.
Basic Dutch. Yeah.
So that is when that whole story started. So it was like, if he is not allowed to come as a tourist for a few weeks, then we are going to do the long route, of which we did.
Yeah, and the long route now is studying Dutch. Dutch. Okay. So I studied Dutch for, well, in the beginning I studied Dutch online because of the contact she gave me. Then when she came back also, we did it with her because it's easier, you know, she knows that. So we did it for, is it a month or 2?
When I came, I came not actually I came only maybe 1.5 months at time.
Yeah, so we did it with her, then she left. So I had to do it by myself. But then also she helped me while she was there. So we used to have video calls or sometimes WhatsApp calls, and then that's how she helped me study, and also through the internet.
Then after 1 year, I think. Like 1 year from the moment when your visa got rejected to when you passed the exam.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said you got married. How was that? Did you introduce her to your parents? Did your parents came over? How was that wedding like? Did you pay dowry? Did you propose?
Well, the wedding was at the AG. The wedding was not wedding like church wedding. It was the AG. Well, the reason for that was, well, she'll explain her part. I don't want to talk on her behalf, but why spend this money on your church wedding, and you can use this money to invest or build yourselves, you know? That was my thinking as a Kenyan, business-wise. I don't know why you didn't want wedding. Why?
It's not that I didn't want, but I was never that girl that was looking forward to the wedding the whole life. You know, there's that girls who have a whole binder with photos, and I was never that girl. So, plus, when we decided to get married, or rather when you gave us the idea of getting married, we knew it was going to be in Kenya, because we just got married because we wanted to. We were not planning on, now we have to wait before you get to Netherlands or blah, blah, blah. No, we wanted to get married and we did it. So we knew the only option right now is to do it in Kenya. So I knew, like, there is no way on earth that all your family and friends can attend a wedding in the Netherlands, or all my family and friends can visit Kenya. Maybe you can bring 2, 3, 4, 5 people, but that's it. So it will never be
a wedding with all my family.
Yeah, it will never be complete.
Yeah.
So that is when I also agreed with you, maybe for different reasons, but like, let it be. The most important thing for us is now that we are married, because that's what we want. We want to share our lives together, and think that was the most important thing for us.
Okay. Did you propose before getting married?
Well, I didn't go on my knees, but
Maybe on the phone, I don't know.
because she wasn't here, so I just asked on the phone. Yeah, it was on the phone.
Yeah, it was on the phone.
What's up? So I mean, it sounds weird, but that was the only way of communicating.
I already knew that I was coming, I think, because we were planning, because when you got rejected, we were just thinking, okay, now this October is too fast, when can I come, also with my life, and when can I squeeze in another trip. So we decided it was going to be April, May. Then it was a few months before that when we had a call about like preparation for the trip and all, because we usually just text it on WhatsApp. So we had a call, and that is when we started talking about getting married. And then we were like, let's do it immediately when I come.
Okay. And in Kenyan culture, we pay dowry. Did you pay dowry?
Yeah. Now the Western culture, you don't pay dowry. That's what I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like I think it's an African culture. Yeah. You pay dowry. Yeah. Western culture, you don't pay dowry. I mean, as much as you want to pay, they won't accept.
So I told him that already.
Yeah.
And were you surprised about it?
Yeah, I mean, to me also that's a whole different culture shock. In Africa, you pay dowry.
Yeah.
You pay cows and money and
goats.
Yeah.
So for me to hear you don't pay anything, I was like,
you're like,
this is different.
So, okay, yeah. I see the difference.
Yeah, so we kept it just really small, not something special. We both invited one witness, and we got married at the AG. That was, by the way, not that easy to, because the paperwork, and it was a bit of a challenge as well.
Yeah.
Then after wedding or maybe the marriage,
yes,
what happened?
During the marriage, I mean, paperwork is not easy. So she had to get all her paperwork right for her to be accepted by the Kenyan, that to know that for me it's easy. I'm Kenyan, so I just need my ID, very basic details. But for her, she has to get, first of all, her passport. Yeah,
and proof that you're not been married.
Proof that she's not married there. And not just proof stamped from the government that you're not married in that other country. Yeah, so after all the paperwork was done, then we set a date at the AG.
Yeah, after waiting for a whole day at the AG.
Yeah, well, Kenyan services, Kenyan time.
We came in the morning, and we got
served at 4:05. And our appointment was 10, but then we got served at 4:05.
Yeah, and then it was only payment in cash, so you had to go again. Then they helped other people before, so by the time we left that office, it was 6:30.
Yeah.
Then what happened after marriage?
Then
after marriage, now we set a reception.
Okay, yeah.
Because we didn't have a wedding, so for people to come, so we set a reception for. We set a reception at home, so that the people who were family and everyone was to come. They came for the reception. And
we did 2 small trips. We didn't have the time at that time to do a whole honeymoon.
Yeah, because she was going back.
Yeah. So we decided on 2 small trips. One, we left immediately on the day we got married.
Yeah.
And then one, 1 or 2 weeks later, both in the outside area of Nairobi. Still in Nairobi, I think.
Yeah. The day we got married, immediately after we went to Ephraim.
Yeah, where is it? In Karen.
Ephraim is in Karen.
Yeah.
It's a B&B in Karen. It's a very nice building. Yeah. So that's where we had our small honeymoon.
Yeah. With chapati and beans.
Yeah, our first meal was chapati and beans. Well, because she likes chapati and beans. So that was our first meal, chapati and beans.
Yeah, I remember because one of the witnesses was your sister, and we were having lunch with our witnesses, and then she was saying, "Oh yeah, so you can order in food tonight. It would be nice." And then we were like, "No, we're going to cook." So we when we came to the Airbnb, we dropped our stuff. We went to the supermarket to buy the beans and the flour. We had to borrow a rolling pin from the neighbors because there was no rolling pin in the Airbnb, and then you cooked.
Yeah, cooked.
Yeah.
Now you flew back to Netherlands 2023, right?
Yeah, after the trips and after the wedding, reception, I went back. While we were in the process of that, for him the studying to be finished. So in August, you passed your exam.
Yeah, I did pass
for the Dutch. So that is when I think in September I applied for the visa because it was mine for me to apply for him to come, to invite him. So that's what we did. But even in Netherlands, some organizations are not easy and it's not going fast. So we had to wait almost 6 months for them to approve. That happened in February 2024. And then
he joined you.
No, that is when we got approved.
Accepted
so
my visa.
It took another month for you to
travel,
to go to the embassy with your passport and get the stamp, come back, and whatever you did at home to finish up your house and your stuff and packing and saying goodbye to friends. What did you do?
Yeah, all that. Then I traveled in March of 2024.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you joined her in March 2024.
Yes.
How was life in Europe?
Oh, shock.
You went to live with her?
Yes.
And what happened with your job?
My job here in Kenya. So that's a good question. Before I left, I took study leave for 6 months. I mean, you can take study leave whichever how you want. You can take it for 5 years. I just took it for 6 months. And the reason for that was I wasn't heading there head first. I was going there with mixed emotions, testing the waters first. So the reason for taking a study leave in 6 months is to go there and then check how things will be. So when I get there and then I find things are good, well, I might proceed. But if I get there, things are not really good, I don't like, I can come back and still have my job. Yeah, so I got there, I arrived, and well, everything was in shock because first of all, I arrived while it was cold.
Oh yeah, it was cold.
It was very cold and very wet. It was raining every day. And the good thing about Dutch weather is it rains all the time, but it's not like Kenyan rain. In Kenya, when it rains, it falls. But there, when it rains, it rains for 5 minutes, it stops for 20 minutes. It rains for 5 minutes, stops for 30 minutes. It rains but it's wet. You find it can be wet the whole day, but it just raining kidogo kidogo. So the weather was really cold. Then social life, no social life for me, because that's my first experience. So the weather was really cold, no social life. Hakuna githeri, hakuna beans, hakuna ugali, hakuna nyama. The food I'm used to every single day, staple food ya Kenya is ugali and rice every other day. Then when I got there, totally everything, it's totally different. I'm sure they have the same foods here, but her being a vegetarian, she's not a meat eater. So, and you cannot just cook meat and she doesn't eat. Well, respect. I can eat meat while she's not there, but while she's there, for the respect, you just, for you to live in peace, don't cook that meat.
I hear you, yeah.
So it was even harder for me, because as a Kenyan, ugali nenda na nyama. Ugali na mboga kila siku, ugali nenda na nyama, Then that was not there. Then job-wise also, getting there, I did not have a job. But so I think this is what we did. When we got there, I had to rest for a whole month. after not looking for jobs, just getting acquainted with everything, the weather, the food, you know, the social life, and everything. So that 1 month I got there.
You kept telling me, I need to digest this, I need to digest.
Yeah, because after 2 weeks, I think 2 weeks or 1 week, I wanted to come back. Sometimes I used to sit at the window. I remember, so I had to have tears in my eyes because I'm like, nah, this is not the life I chose. Because one, you leave your job back at home, you leave friends, you leave family, good weather. But then you get there, I'm not saying that the weather is bad, but they're used to it. I'm not used to it. So the weather is different, food is different. There's no people to talk to, even the neighbors. I mean, it's not like she explained, it's not like Kenya. Me, I can just come to you the next door, talk to you like as if I know you. There, you cannot do that. You have to make an appointment to visit. Those are the shocks I'm talking about.
Appointment?
Yeah, I mean, you don't just visit people anyhow.
I even make an appointment if I want to visit my mom or dad.
Imagine. Yeah.
You cannot just show up.
That's for me still a shock. Yeah.
But you know, I asked you before you came, even maybe not right in front, but previously we had talked about it, and I asked you, do you think you'll get homesick? And you were always like, nah, never. I've traveled, I know what it's like to live in a different country. I don't think I will get homesick, you know?
Shock on you.
So I was, even me, I was a bit surprised that you are missing home so much.
Because, you know, everything is not, can you just, this life you're living right now, you just go to a whole different country, everything is different. Even if you want to visit me, you can't. You have to take a plane to visit me. For you to experience the weather, you have to take a plane to, you know. So that's what I experienced. And yeah, that was a shock. That 1 month, I was doing nothing. Then we decided to do van life. I think in 2019 when we met, during the plane, some of the things we're talking about also I think was van life, because
oh, that was while we were texting.
Oh, during texting. I liked van life. That was one of my dreams also, you know, like a hobby, a dream to do in life. So for me, watching people doing van life in internet and whatnot, so for me it was like, one day I would buy a matatu, Ghana, like the ones in Rongai. So it's like, I'll buy a matatu like that, then I'll convert it. I'll put there a bed, a bathroom, a place for, you know, sitting area. So as a photographer, I'll be traveling around the country. So instead of sleeping in B&Bs and hotels, I'll be sleeping in my matatu.
Yeah.
So as a camper.
It's more of your home, yeah.
Yes.
And I had never even thought about it in my life.
Yes. So I relayed the idea to her, and I asked her whether she likes van life. Then, well, I think she did her research and then she liked it.
I think it was just when you asked me the question, I answered honestly. I was like, oh, it's an interesting idea. Then it started growing on me, started thinking about it. And then I remember after that, I asked you a million times, was it a joke? Was it a joke? Or are we really serious? Are we really going to do this? Because at that time, it was just like, what if it was a joke and it will never happen? Now I'm psyched up about the idea.
And then she used to talk about it like as if it's her idea. I mean, I came up with the idea, but then the way she's talking about it is like she came up with the idea because she was more into it than me now. So
and that is those are maybe the first videos I actually watched on YouTube on a specific topic. Like I started to use YouTube as a source for researching that idea. So we used to share the videos on, oh, look at this, or look at them doing this, or look at them going to this country, and to just get inspiration and ideas on our own, for our own future. But that was way back. And then when you came, we planned a trip, and then initially my idea would be to sleep in Airbnbs, and then you
so
I had
we visited a friend, then the friend had a camper. So I proposed, I mean, instead of visiting B&Bs, that's expensive. I mean, I'm more of instead of wasting, because you have the money, why can't you be minimalistic but still have fun, and you know. So I was like, why not ask your friend for the camper?
But we are not, it's not easy.
According to the culture,
it's still the Netherlands. You cannot just ask someone, hey, can I borrow your camper? So
but me as an African, I was like, she's a friend, you just
I was waiting for a while before I got the courage to do it. And then I just asked, okay, you can also ask money for it. But she
Yeah.
decided to give us
For free.
the camper because they were going to sell it anyway. Yeah, so for 10, was it 10 8 days? Well, a
10
little
days.
bit over a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so instead of the whole plan with the Airbnbs, we just randomly drove off with the camper, and that was our first vacation in Europe together.
Yeah, and we traveled 6 countries in 10 days. Because in Europe you can, once you have the Schengen visa, you can just travel.
Yeah, so we just so like I remember we were supposed to go to Belgium, but then I was like, let's spend one night in Germany, because then at least we have that country. We have spent that night in that country too. So it went like that on the whole trip. Let's drive a little bit further and visit another country.
And I also think an idea for that was, the countries I've visited, like this is the countries I've visited before I met her. That's why we created the hoodie. The one she had was the countries she had visited, the green hoodie. Yeah, so for us to visit other countries was to add them on the hoodie. So I was like, so there's no Germany here, so let's go to Germany. So we went there. There's no Switzerland here, so let's go to Switzerland.
Yeah.
That's how it is. So we traveled for the 6 countries, but then time was not on our side, so we had to.
Yeah, because actually right after that you started your job.
Yeah, so we returned the van. Then I got back. Then I had to now look for a job because my time was done 1 month.
Did you get it?
Yeah, oh my goodness. Job opportunities are there. That's, if they could bring it to Kenya, oh my goodness, Kenyans would really work. I applied for like 3-4 jobs. All of them called me for an interview. Then I did one, the one for Henos.
Oh, yeah.
The one for Henos, they even accepted me. And they're not telling you they will call you later. It's not like Kenya, they will call you later, then they don't call. In there they told me they will call me later, and then they did. But then before they did even call me later, I was like, man, me as a Kenyan, I'm like, they will not call me. This later, I've been hearing it in Kenya. Maybe they're also doing the same. So I decided to apply for another job. The other job I applied, they called me. So I applied also at Burger King, which they called me, but I did not go. I cancelled that.
There was another supermarket where you were going for cleaning or something?
No.
Yumbo?
I applied. No, that was way before.
Oh, was it late?
I applied for Lidl supermarket. Then the supermarket called me. But then the supermarket was almost just like 5 kilometers away. I went immediately. So I cycled there, because in Netherlands the cycling community is very good. You don't need even cars. So I cycled there, did the interview. In 20 minutes, they told me they'll give me a call. So I got back home. In 5 minutes, I got a call. You've been accepted.
You started working?
After, I think, 1 week.
Yeah. How was working? How is it?
Work is good.
Yeah.
Work is good. I mean, the workplace is good because they provide everything. They provide you with working shoes and working clothes. Then, but depends also with the type of job. Like the supermarket job, they provide you with breakfast. So the bread, the fruits, all that they provide. But for lunch, you cater for yourself. Then also the working hours, they're flexible. Flexible meaning, like now, you decide when you want to work. If you want to work from maybe 8 hours. So you can enter maybe work at 6 and leave at maybe 3. But there'll be 1 hour for which you're not paid, 1 hour for break, you're not paid. Or you can decide to maybe start work at 8 and end it at 5. So depending on your work schedule, because I mean, how you're free. Yeah, so I worked there for 2 months. Then I decided to, well, really not call it quits, but we decided to go for our honeymoon, because we had not gone for a honeymoon in Kenya. So we went for honeymoon at the Olympics, because the Olympics was in France, 2024.
Yeah.
So that was the honeymoon in 2024. So I decided to, because in Netherlands, the first 2 months when you get a job, that's like probation period. So probation means they can allow you to continue, or also it means whether you want to continue working or not. So you can decide. After 2 months, you can say, nah, I don't want to continue working, I'm out. Thank God it was exactly 2 months. Then in August, because we had to buy tickets way in advance for the Olympics. So I decided, no, I don't want to continue. because they denied me leave.
Going away for so long.
Yeah, because you don't get a leave while in probation. You get a leave after probation. Yeah, so I decided to live in peace. They accepted, so they even write good. They wrote good remarks about me working there and whatnot.
Like a reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went for the Olympics in August in France. Yeah, watch athletics. At least when we met in the beginning, she had no idea about athletics, but then with time, she started developing the.
And I asked you so many questions.
Yeah, and also she's never seen me run professionally. But then also when I got to the Netherlands, I started doing athletics there, and that's when she saw me running, because she'd never seen me in an international
only maybe
stage.
one time, but I don't even know if that was
Twice.
an actual. No, I mean in Kenya.
Oh, in Kenya, okay.
I think one time you did a relay, but I don't know what
that was just
competition
a
was.
local meet.
Yeah.
Then went for the Olympics. Then after the Olympics, came back. But then also before I went for the Olympics, we applied for another job there in the Netherlands. And imagine I got another job before we went for the Olympics. So coming back, I knew I was coming back to another work, because they really need people to work there.
Yeah,
so,
that went also very fast.
Yeah.
Like they called you back almost immediately after applying online. They scheduled a call with you or something.
Yeah, I went for the interview. Then they didn't ask me for any papers.
Yeah, it was like it's easy in Europe compared to Kenya.
Some jobs.
Yeah.
I would say every job. I mean, you cannot apply for being a pilot and then you just say I'm a pilot, then they let you fly. No, but some jobs, trust me, it's easy. They don't need papers. They need you. I'm the experience. So if I say I'm good at this, show me you're good at this. If I say I'm a photographer, here's a camera, take photos, let's see. But don't say I'm a photographer on paper. I've studied, I've gone to school for. Nah, they don't really dwell on papers. So after the interview, 10 minutes, they say you're employed, and that's what I'm doing up to now.
And now come back to living together. How was it as a couple now married?
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, it was more, the focus was not really, I feel like, on our marriage, but more like on the fact that you were so new, and there was so much that needed to be done. Also, still when you came, there were things that we needed to go left, right, and center to get paperwork done, to get him. We had to go to the municipality so that he could be added to my address, and so many things. But some of the things we had to do them together, but other things I just had to come, because I cannot just tell him here's an address in Amsterdam and you have to go there to pick up this and this and that. So in the beginning it was me living two lives ish, because I was living his life in his appointments and then also my life, until you got more familiar with like the roads and how to bike from A to B, so that you could take the bike yourself, and the public transportation system. And you cannot expect someone who comes, even me when I came here the first time, or even now, still I cannot go places sometimes without you. You need that support because of someone who's local. So I think in the beginning it was more like we were trying to get everything in place, and once everything is done, then we are already a few months in, and by that time we were actually going, that was around the summertime, I would say, when we went to the Olympics. And so it was a few months that was really focused on getting him the job, getting the paperwork, getting settled down, make sure that he has everything that he needs to live also his life in Netherlands. So, but I remember that the first 2 weeks it was me like living on a pink cloud. I was so happy that you were there. I went to the airport to pick him up, and even like an hour before, I was already in front of the door waiting, of which was stupid because he was not coming out. But I was just like, but what if I walk away and I miss him, So then I remember we saw each other through the window at the airport when you were still waiting for your luggage. Took some time for your luggage to come out. So, but it was just a moment that you have been thinking about for 5 years. And then when it happens, I was just so happy. And then the first day we went to eat somewhere in a restaurant. Well, not, is it, what did you call that, a restaurant? Yeah, okay, let's call it a restaurant. It was not very official, but we went to eat somewhere. Then we went home. But then after some time you started telling me that was so overwhelming. I came and we immediately went out. I met some of your friends and I didn't realize those things. I didn't realize that everything was new and it was so much. And I was trying to introduce you to my friends and my family, and there was so much to do, you know? So I think it was 2 weeks when you met all my family members. Yeah. We went bowling and then we went out for dinner. So that's when you met all of them. Well, all of them. Like I said, it's a small family, but yeah. And so, you know, all those things too. I don't want him to just be there and feel alone. I also want him to know people so that he has, you know, people also to talk to and not just me. So we went to the athletics. Actually a cousin of mine trains there, so that's how I connected them, and so that in the beginning he could do that. Yeah, so that took some time, and my work was just continuing. So yeah, we saw each other after my work and in the weekends, and then we tried to do as much as possible. But in the beginning it was just happiness, just like that. We talked for hours as if we had not talked to each other in years. But eventually things just become normal and you come into this routine of, okay, this is our life. Especially when you also started working, then it became a bit more normal. But I think in the beginning for both of us it was a lot. Even though you don't even talk about that because you don't realize it until it's over. But I think for both of us in different ways, in the beginning it wasn't bad, but it was a lot to process. Because you don't know what you can expect and what you're going to encounter. It's not like me visiting Kenya and then with the idea of I'm going back in 2 months. That is then you have a different attitude of going into it. But now, like if I visit, then let's say we stay at an Airbnb. You tell me this and this and that about the area, but I don't have to invest so much because we're not coming back here. But when you came, we knew, okay, you're at least coming to stay. So there's I'm not going to invest in this. Both of us had to invest in, this is now our new life. And we had lived apart, both of us, for a long time before. We had lived alone. Like I was living alone, you were living alone. No roommates or other than that. So, but also it went so well because I thought in the beginning I was worried about so many things, like what would he feel about this and how would he feel about that and will this be good enough, but you never worried about anything. Everything that I was worried about was just fine. There was never anything of which you said, this is not good, I don't like that is too small, you know. So that was just all in my head. Yeah. So and then I think we wanted to go back to Kenya after the Olympics. We had talked about it before, like you want to go back to Kenya maybe twice a year. Yeah. But because my dad passing, that was not possible. So we had to postpone that, and we had to keep postponing that until I was able to. Yeah. No. Until May. Half a year ago. Yeah. Yeah. Because it was just, I had to deal with also things, you know, and my brother since we are a small family, my brother was like, I don't feel comfortable with you going, and there's still so much that needs to be arranged. So I had to wait, and yeah, you waited with me, and you are so patient.
Yeah, so
you were not home for like a year.
We were to come last year, then then my father-in-law died, then we decided to finish the whole process. Then we traveled in May of this year. Yeah. Then, the whole process, even during the funeral process, that was the whole experience for me. It's not like here in Kenya. It's totally different. Totally, like 1,000% totally different. What I experienced was, when a person dies, they bring them to the house. So they stay to the house like a whole week. Yeah. Then, for example, in Kenya, what I know is the person stays in the mortuary. Then after that, when they come, that's like maybe a day or two before they're buried. Then people will come. There'll be disco at night. Cows will be slaughtered. Definitely, mostly in our culture, cows will be slaughtered. Then the ceremony the following day, and the funerals in Kenya lasts the whole day from 10 to 6 in the evening. Now there is a whole different story. They bring the dead person in the house for a whole week and stays with the family. Then during the date of the funeral, so people are not coming in to see, it's just with the family. Then the day of the funeral, they go to the church. Then they do their service in the church. And was there even viewing in the church?
Nope.
Nope, there's no viewing.
But that's because my dad chose that.
Okay, so depends.
So it's also personal preferences.
I think the viewing happens in the church. Then there is no noise, there's no crying. In Kenya, there will be wailing and shouting. There is no. I was in the church, I was even surprised. You might think it's a service going on. Silence.
But it was planned. Everything was planned. There was no unexpected speeches. It was just an hour and then we were done.
An hour of the biography and all that. Then after that, to the cemetery. And everything just goes smoothly. Once you get to the cemetery, we carried the coffin, we got there, just place it directly there to there's no getting to the cemetery and then another function of speeches. Directly to the grave, we put it there. Then people pass by making their respects, whatnot, as they go. As they go, then the family remains, with their respects, and that's it.
Yeah, I think there is a pastor who probably read 1 or 2 Bible verses, and that's it. Did the prayer
which took like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
So the whole funeral process, that particular day, took like 2 hours, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
And then also because I attended a funeral in Kenya, it's when we could compare. And of course, there's personal decisions and preferences. So not every funeral goes like that. So we invited a couple of friends of my dad at home one evening. But you can also make it as big as you want, where everyone comes to view and blah, blah, blah. But my dad did not want that. So that's why we didn't do that. We had the coffin closed. But yeah, it's just, in Kenya, I was actually shocked because the funeral lasted like a week. I mean, for me, I felt like it lasted like a week because every day we went there and every day there were other people and there was so much talking and so much noise, and then family members came from the village and then they kept coming and it was so overwhelming. And
there's no eating. Also there.
Yeah, there's no eating.
There's no eating. But one thing I liked about the funeral is the way they've planned themselves. Because this is a process. We will all pass away in this life. So like we have insurance, they have insurance. So you pay for your own, in advance. So when it comes, there's no disturbing the family. I don't know harambe, contributions, nothing like that. So when it comes, it's just smooth. The company that was actually like the insurance company, so to speak. I would call it the insurance company. Mm-hmm. It caters for everything.
Yeah.
The coffin, the car, everything. So to them, they just come.
Yeah, we
do
had
everything.
several meetings with that guy, and
Yeah.
he was taking care of everything.
So there's no single shilling you're going to remove. They just come cater for everything until the last minute.
And now you're visiting Kenya
Yes.
the second time.
Yeah, this is the second time after you came to
Well,
Netherlands.
yeah.
How long are you taking, or maybe how long are you here?
Well, she's here for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
So to
not too
speak.
long.
Yeah. Well, reason for that is
Reason for that.
so she has to fly back as soon as possible. Well, because she's pregnant.
I'm not fat, people. I'm not fat. I'm pregnant.
Yeah, and she's not fat. Well, the reason for that is she's almost 32 weeks, and with flying, you cannot fly after 32 weeks. So if she stays here until, I'll be staying for maybe 5 weeks. So if she stays here with me until the time is done, she'll have to give birth here. I mean, she won't be able to fly.
Yeah, or the flight
Yeah, they would.
company might refuse me, or
Yeah.
I just didn't want to risk,
I mean, I don't mind her giving birth here. That would be my pride and joy, but our insurance and everything is on the other side.
Yeah.
So just better for her to just, go.
Yeah.
Then instead of me following her immediately, I just clear up with things and family and, because right now this is just a new place and everything. So we clear up with everything. Then after a week or two, then I'll follow her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the plans for you is to settle in Netherlands in long term?
No. Yeah, say that real quick. Eh? No. Well, the plan is my plan is to stay in Kenya. But also she wants to stay in Kenya. But our plan now will be staying 50-50. But not even really in Kenya and Netherlands. Just because one, we've we're into this van life. And just the other day, actually last month, the whole month we traveled. Now the other countries we didn't travel in Europe. And we bought a camper. Now we have our own camper, so we traveled. Yeah.
Are you not working, or maybe?
No, I'm working, and like I said now, the good thing about work there is flexible hours. Now the work I'm working, you are allowed to work 2 days a week. The rest of the days you can decide. Yeah, so it's you to decide. So I have enough money in the bank, I won't work these other days. So let me just work these 2 days I'm required. But then I took a leave, so even that's why the reason I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the best memory you've shared together?
Well, I think it's van life. Yeah, I'll just say van life. I mean, apart from, even if you talk of Olympics, in Olympics also we camped in a van. So pretty much we were in Olympics, but then it was van life. Then when I got to the Netherlands, it was van life that we did the first month. Then just last month, last week on Sunday,
really came back.
Before we came back, we just got back from van life. So pretty much we're doing, that was like my dream.
Traveling,
then she likes van life. So it's something we both like, and traveling. So yeah, that traveling and van life, yeah.
And habits that annoys you about her?
Habits. That's interesting. Habits that annoy me. That's a hard one, eh?
The one that you enjoy or maybe you admire about her?
Well, she's really good in planning things, administrative stuff. When you talk about taxes or planning for trips, like the trip we just went in Europe, she planned for it in advance. So everything, you get to Venice, everything we did in Venice, she planned for it in advance. We got to Budapest, she planned everything in advance. And initially also we were to come to Africa with the van. We were to drive from Netherlands to...
I think we'll talk that one in a different video about van life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in short, just we were to drive here, but then she had planned for it in advance. But due to some logistics, we didn't do it. But I think that's what I like about her. She's really very good one.
Yeah. And you, what do you admire about him?
In the beginning, I remember one of the things that I really liked about you was that you were one, very loyal. I just knew he was a trustworthy guy, and I still know he is. So that's one very important thing that I really appreciate about him. And the other thing is that he's never jealous at anyone. He's always happy for everyone, even though other people have more success or something that we want to have but not yet. Like those van life people, he was never jealous. So that was really like a lesson for me. Not saying I'm jealous, but I was like, wow, here's a person who's just happy for people. There's no jealousy in him. So, and I like his chapatis. Yeah.
And what annoys you about him?
What annoys me about you? I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes I just snap. I snap. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a morning person. So me, when I wake up, she likes talking a lot, and I'm not a morning person. So sometimes I'm just not in that position of talking. And when I come from work, oh my goodness. When I come from work, I just want like an hour of silence. I sleep for 30 minutes maybe.
But you get used to those things.
I don't think so.
No, I mean, I get used to those things, so I'm really trying not to.
Yeah. I'm also trying to adjust because, I mean, that's one of the challenges for me, being married. Because living alone, you come to a house, whether you want to watch TV, whether you just want to relax, yeah. But now you're married, you have a wife and probably kids. So you cannot tell them, don't talk to me. You're married, bro. These are the things that come with marriage life. So
maybe you're stubbornness sometimes. Like when I ask you something and then you say yes, and then 5 minutes later you say no, and then I'm like, but it was yes. And then like the other day you told me, but leave me be. It's me suffering if I then suddenly don't want it anymore. But it's not you who should suffer. But then I'm like, so you can change your mind so fast, and then you become stubborn after that. Like, no, it was no, but it was yes. But
I think also is culture-ish. Yeah. Like I can say, I like the food. I mean, I like it, but I don't like it. So me liking it does not mean I love it. I like it, I can eat. I like githeri. I don't love githeri.
I still don't understand when you say that love thing with food and all of that.
I like githeri. I can eat it, but I don't love it. If you ask me the kind of food I love, I'll tell you chapati and maybe chicken or ugali and chicken. But I like githeri, but I don't love it. But sometimes we argue. I can't explain it, but if I tell you, you will understand. But if I tell her,
like today you say, I want tea with sugar, and then tomorrow you say, I don't want sugar, and then I'm like, but yesterday you wanted sugar, and then I don't understand that. But
for me, yesterday is not today, so yesterday I wanted sugar. Today
I guess that's what I mean when I say it's like he changed his mind, but maybe it's not changing his mind. It's just that I don't know, what is it? To me, it's just difficult to understand because me, I'm just so straight. When I want something, I want it, and I want it every day, and I want it still next year. But I don't change my mind on those things. For me, it's really difficult to grasp that side of you where you are different every single day. You try to do something how I remember it from last time, and then it suddenly changed again.
And advices to the interracial couple that you would want?
I would say, but maybe that's even in general. There's no rules for relationships. What I've learned is you have a certain set of what you think is normal about a relationship. Like in a relationship, you should do this. Or when you are married, then he should do that for you. Or you should do these things together, or these things you should do them alone. You have all these rules that, whether they come from religion or from your culture or from your family, you grew up with them and you think it's normal and you think it's how it's supposed to be. But what I've learned is that there's no truth. There's not one truth in the world on how a marriage should be. There's no truth in the world on how a relationship should look like or what is normal. There's no normal. So you have to put aside everything that you think how it's supposed to look like and how a husband is supposed to be like, and then you have to look at it just as if it's a blank page. Be curious. What is this person like? What is our relationship like? How does this develop? How can we live a life together that both of us are enjoying, and who cares what other people are doing or thinking? So I would say set aside what you expect. If you want something easy, get someone from your own culture. If you have someone from another culture, set all your expectations aside and be open to the other person's culture, and be willing also to do things differently than how you maybe have thought for it for years. Because you're never going to get what you want, what you desire, what you think is how it should be, if you only stick to what you know. Yeah, that's the best thing I can say about it.
I think she said everything. Just be open to new experiences in life. Don't expect now that according to our culture, you're the man now, you're the boss in everything. Yes, you are, but
yes, you are, but
yeah.
You have to adjust.
You have to adjust to their culture. For example, a simple example is in Kenya, men are not supposed to be in kitchen. Well, according to culture, cleaning the house, but in their culture, men do that. Men cook, men clean the house and do all those things. So if you're coming from a culture where they don't do these things, don't expect to date a person from another culture where they do these things and not to do what they do. You have to, for the marriage to work, just be open to new experiences. And also, for example, I told her I like her hair, and there's a point in time she wanted to cut it. I was like, no, you're not cutting your hair, I like your hair. Then she liked my hair. Then me, I'm used to cutting my hair. Then she was like, also don't cut it. So you see, you have to adjust things. Yeah. I don't want her to cut her hair. Why would I cut mine? So let me keep my hair, but you also get to keep yours. So, so I think just be open to experiences. Yeah.
And the sweet words to your partner as you finalize.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah.
She's been the best person I've been with past 6 years. Mother to be to my child. I know she's going to be a good mother, definitely. Because definitely she is good to me. She cooks for me. I mean, as much as she still learning to cook Kenyan food, she's really trying to cook Kenyan food. But yeah, I know she's going to be a good parent, or rather good mother. And I appreciate everything you do. And I love you too.
Everything?
She still doesn't believe that.
And you, Chris?
I didn't hear a question. Sorry.
Sweet words to your husband.
Oh, okay. Now, you went first, so you said all the good things already. No, I'm very appreciative. I've learned so much in the past years about myself and about you, and I feel like I've grown as a person, especially because you're so different, and that challenges me, and I like that. So and you are also going to be a very good dad, because all the children in the world love you.
Yeah.
So this is not going to be any different. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to that. And I appreciate how you help me out with so many things, even though I know it's not so common for Kenyan men to do that. So, yeah. And I love you too.
Yes, Bono.
Thank you for watching our love story on Ms. Rach's YouTube channel. If you want to find out more about Chris and Chaps, about Casey Life Adventures, then you can head to our YouTube channel, where you will find more videos about us, our relationship, about our activities, about our life in Netherlands and Kenya.
And van life also. Yeah.
Yeah, so KC Life Adventures is our channel name.
What's the plan of your channel? When you say van life, what do you mean van life for people who are...
Van life is more living on the road and traveling instead of traveling and living in hotels or B&Bs. So van life is living could be a bus, could be just a converted car that's a home. That's van life, a camper. Yeah, so that van life is basically living in a camper and traveling the world. Kindly subscribe to our channel, KC Life Adventures, and that's where you'll find more about our videos, van life, traveling, and more stories about KC Life.
Yeah. Cheers. Peace out.
Thank you.